Yeah.
1 second. So good afternoon, friends, and a formal welcome to all of you, and also a welcome to Dr. Paritosh Basu, who always comes here and gives us new insights into the emerging trends. And today he is here to talk to us about something that has been a very fascinating thing. People are buying land on Metaverse, people are getting married on Metaverse, and what all possibilities exist is completely mind-boggling. But for people like you and me who have just read one or two headlines here and there, what does it mean for us? And to get into the basics of it, Dr. Basu is here with us. So let me take this opportunity to introduce him. So Dr. Basu is an academician, obviously, but he has behind him, before coming into academics, he's got about 34 years of corporate experience. And his last two positions were that of the global controller, group controller and CFO of two large MNCs. He is now a full-time senior professor and chairperson of MBA law in our university in the School of Business Management. His current areas of research include Industry 4.0, digital transformation, blockchain, and CBDC. All India Management Association recently conferred to him the fellow membership for his significant contribution in the field of professional management. He was also bestowed with the Lifetime Achievement Award by Presscon Global a few years ago. He is a digital evangelist, he's a management trainer, and he has chaired 4 World Blockchain and AI Summits held in Moscow, Dubai, and in India. He has delivered several keynote speeches. He has led panel discussions. And if you put together the number, it could be running into more than 100. He has authored many research papers, management case studies. He writes a monthly column on digital transformation in the Management Accountant. This is the magazine of the Institute of Cost Accountants of India. And he's been doing this for 2.5 years now. He's also a member of the Mentor Council of the NMIMS Atal Incubation Center, and someday we will have him talk to us about the Incubation Center here as well. So he's an avid management trainer and mentor. He provides consulting services to startups and corporates also. And he is chairing the Syllabus Advisory Committee of the Institute of Cost Accountants of India. And if you look at his corporate experience, it spans over a wide spectrum of functional areas, geographies, and in the areas of finance, treasury, strategic planning, M&As, corporate restructuring, and his own fond interest for IT enablement, digital transformation, etc. He participates as a member of the Board of Directors and the Board of Studies for Management School, RSBM. And those of you who have attended his previous programs or would have known him would know that he has his own YouTube channel, which is very much sought after. And he has recently published a book on digital transformation, which was launched in Kolkata last month. And I'm looking forward to having that copy of the book. So with these words, please take us to this new verse of Metaverse. Over to you, sir.
Thank you, Deepak. Thank you very much indeed, and thanks for your kind words. I will be speaking on the subject, but before that, it is my responsibility to acknowledge the people who have contributed to my presentation in terms of freely available graphics and knowledge which I've borrowed from their researched out works. This particular presentation which I'm going to present is from the research paper which I have recently written, and the name of the presentation and research paper is essentially the same. It is the new universe of Metaverse. Just to quickly give you some ideas, these are some of my articles which I have written on digital transformation. The center one below it is my Moscow presentation. And this is a present. This was the keynote speech in the World Blockchain Summit, Moscow. This is a speech for Hamburg University, Germany. There is a group of students on international management. This particular presentation is for them. I also spoke on digital transformation and central bank digital currency. So this is what you can see here. You can visit my personal YouTube channel, as Deepak was mentioning. I'm also available in Twitter. I have about 1350 plus. Of course, 17,000 plus people are connected with me all over the world with LinkedIn. Okay, my way of studying any subject is I try to go as much back as possible. Like when I was studying drones, I started studying for the first unmanned carriage to the space, which was a hot balloon. Similarly, here I have tried to understand where from augmented reality or virtual reality or metaverse started. So I could trace the first version of this in 1838, roughly about 190 years before, when Charles Whitstone, he discovered a stereoscope for 3D viewing of any image. Thereafter, roughly about 11 years after, there is a gentleman called David Brewster. He first discovered the portable 3D viewer, which is today's, you can say, digital 3D viewer headset. Then 1929, 80 years thereafter, came the simulator. What is this simulator? Any pilot who is trained for flying an aircraft, he is taken to this simulator and he gets a virtual feeling of how to control a plane in a bumpy air's passage. Long thereafter, roughly about 32 years thereafter, in 1961, came the first head wearable display device. And this is where you can say not digital, but head wearable display device started for stereoscope 3D picture. So if this is the first stereoscope in 1838, it took 123 years it took to have the first stereoscope, which is wearable display device. In 1987 came the virtual reality. I have written a paper about virtual reality. It is essentially a digital transformation technology which is called immersive technology. And thereafter, a gentleman called Aaron Lanier, he started expanding the subject, and he finally went for this particular item called digital VR devices. And he also started developing software, because any digital technology, as you may be aware, that has to come along with the software. Deepak, you can see my video. Am I visible on the video? Down
Yes.
below the box?
Yes, yes.
Okay, fine. Thereafter came 1989, Tim Berners-Lee. He, as you all know, that in 1989 we got the WWW, Internet. And the result of 1989 is that this virtual reality, a stereoscopic virtual reality with a headset wearable headset, started getting delivered through internet. So cyberspace or internet became the vehicle of delivery for virtual reality, and then it transcended the national and geographical boundaries all over the world. In 1992, the word metaverse came. The gentleman called Neil Stephenson, he is an American speculative fiction writer, a very interesting gentleman. Whatever technology comes in, before that he writes a fiction story about that technology, and he is a very, very well reputed gentleman. So he wrote about metaverse in 1992. So using the immersive technology, what happened finally, if I summarize the whole thing, three things happened. One is the immersive technology, starting with stereoscope. Second is the internet. And third is the mixed reality where physical and virtual reality got mixed and extended. And then it got transferred and carried through internet. And that there came the virtual technology called metaverse. The beauty of metaverse is that it's an excellent extended reality. And one gentleman of Franklin Institution, he said, from this Franklin Institute, the research work was conducted by several people, and they said that extended reality is an umbrella term that covers all of the various technologies that enhance our senses. That means extended reality tries to cover all our senses, including voice. But the word all our senses, I do not know to the extent how far it is correct, because extended reality through cyberspace cannot even still give us sense of tasting, sense of touching, and sense of smelling. Here, of course, it's only seeing and kind of listening. So now let us come to literature. Metaverse as a word was not found in dictionary at all. In fact, the first recognition of the metaverse word came in 1990 by in the Oxford Dictionary. And before that, the origination of this word came from Greek word called meta ta physica. It means something which is beyond nature or the physical world. And this particular word, metaphysica, it posits a doctrine that something that exists beyond sense or perception. That means here the word beyond sense trying to say that we can't see it. Suppose you are in a virtual environment, in your computer something is getting displayed, and now that computer is connected to your headset, and you are feeling that in Kashmir there is a ice falling, there is an ice rain going on, and you are standing by the side of a tree. In fact, I had the benefit of in Hotel Incubation Center in second floor, we had couple of startups who develop products for car sellers and dwelling house sellers. And I had such a tour to a dwelling house which is built in Kalyan here, and sitting in Atal Incubation Center, I could go to Kalyan with the help of a headset and get into the finished dwelling house. How does it look? How many doors are there? Where to work from where? Actually, what has happened, there is a video recorded of that particular dwelling house. And when I wear the headset, the video takes me through the thing. And a feeling you get is that as if you are walking through that, because at the moment you feel that you are in the virtual real world of that particular dwelling house. So essentially then it is the metaphysical world. That means you have not been in that particular flat, but you are seeing it. So for a layman, therefore, it means something beyond the universe. And that is why Oxford Dictionary has defined it as a noun in computer science, and it writes a virtual reality space in which users can interact with a computer generated environment, mind you, computer generated environment, and other user. So essentially what happens is that metaverse is essentially not a new technology per se. Essentially, metaverse is a kind of space created in cyberspace where a person can go for a virtual tour of something which is there physically. That means something what is there physically is taken to the cyberspace, and you are given a tour of that or a feeling of that with the help of a headset. So general people at least 99% of people didn't know what is metaverse till October 2021, when Mark Zuckerberg came up and changed his company's name to Meta. Now, I'll tell you one thing, that Meta, when he changed his name, his share price fell by 24%. And why this share price fell, I'll come to you. I have a statistical analysis of that. So what was his object when he changed the name, Facebook company's name, Facebook, to Metaverse or Meta? What was his objective? As you know, Facebook as a product is remaining. You are in a virtual drawing room, which is the Facebook. But his company's name has been changed to Meta because perhaps he wanted to first take advantage of the buzzword as metaverse and trying to come to first mover advantage. And he want to have a quantum leap of your business because he perhaps wants to create another virtual drawing room for you where you will be able to suppose your friend has posted some photographs of his trip to Switzerland, and you will be able to have virtual benefit of going to Switzerland by using the headset and the video that your friend has posted. So essentially, it's a 3D virtual space in internet. That's what is the theoretical genesis of metaverse, and this is the technical genesis of metaverse. Now, essentially, then what metaverse is? This is a gentleman called Matthew Ball. He is a moneyed man, is a venture capitalist, but yet at the same time he knows technology. So what he said that metaverse is an expansive network of persistent real-time rendered 3D worlds. And mind you, here the word they have used is worlds. A plural is there. So the metaverse is an expansive network of persistent real-time rendered 3D worlds, because through metaverse you can create many worlds. One world for a classroom, one world for a customer satisfaction, another world for a training, another world for video gaming, and so on. And stimulations that support continuity identity of objects. Continuity of identity of objects. So essentially, this continuity of identity, objects, history, payments, entitlements, many things can be done through metaverse. Suppose if we create a historical drama of, say, Aurangzeb, and then play the video with a headset on, perhaps you will feel that you have gone 500 years back. So that's the kind of situation you create by metaverse. But if you come to the technology world, what are the buzzwords in the corridors of technological laboratories? A digital scientist, when they work on metaverse, they must be laughing at laymen like us who is using metaverse to mean a separate technology. Essentially, metaverse is not a technology by itself. It is the name of an act of integrated technologies, where a digital scientist has integrated several technologies into one, created several worlds, and delivered through cyberspace. So, if the buzzword again in the corridors of technology developers is said that if you replace the word metaverse by cyberspace, nothing much will change. So the universe of metaverse, that is the new universe, we call it metaverse, is essentially nothing but no other universe other than the cyberspace, which exists in the digital world. And in that digital world, scientists have taken advantage of AI, AR, VR. That means AI means artificial intelligence, and AR and VR, and then integrated those into create a position where you can have a virtual tour with the help of your headset, which you can see these people are doing. They are construction designers, and they are having a city planning done with the help of a headset. because they are, the picture which you are seeing is as if these people are seeing it, but actually this town is not there on the table. The town is actually they are visualizing through a program which is being streamed by a computer into their headset. That is what is happening in this picture. So it is essentially not a technology like blockchain, AI, VR, it's cyberspace. And its innovative part or the creative part or the innovative invention part or innovative inventive creation of value part lies in only one thing, which is fusion and integration of more than one technology. That is essentially it is. So when you do all this, you can do one more thing, augmented reality. Now you can ask me a question and I am also intrigued, perhaps I will not be able to also answer. If something which is not there in reality, how can you give it to augmented reality? Perhaps you will not be able to. Okay, now let me tell you, suppose you have gone to the apple orchard of Kashmir and you are in front of a tree which is full of apples which are ready to be plucked and eaten. So suppose in front of you there is another guy who is standing and he is cutting an apple by his own hand and the knife. So essentially what happens, suppose somebody doesn't know what is apple. So this guy is seeing in the apple tree the apple. Another guy is cutting the apple in front of you and you are standing there with the hands of an headset. Essentially, you are not gone to the Kashmir apple orchard. You are sitting in your drawing room only. You are seeing a video stream through your headset and you are getting an extended reality or an augmented reality of a apple orchard in front of you. Okay, so essentially metaverse is nothing but cyberspace where an innovative delivery has been given to you with the help of AR, VR, powered by cognitive technologies like artificial intelligence, machine learning, because when they infuse the pictures, when they infuse the knowledge, they also study the behavior. At times, metaverse is created with cartoon pictures. So these cartoon pictures, how they are animated, how they imitate the behavior of a human being, those are incorporated into the machine for driving that animated picture with the help of artificial intelligence and machine learning. So what is the vision for metaverse? Vision for metaverse is it's an online digital worlds in which people will gather to work. People will gather to work. That means you will go to the cyberspace for working, conducting meetings, playing games, hang out with your friends. You may get trained. You may get entertained. Suppose a function of Lata Mangeshkar has been videographed sometime 5 years back. If that is played and that can be streamed through your headset, you will be feeling that as if you are attending a live concert of Lata Mangeshkar, something of that sort. Select products before shopping, etc., etc. So some of these online spaces will be immersive 3D experience because the technology which I started with is a 3D experience. I started with stereoscope for 3D viewing. Okay. It's a 3D experience and it requires fancy goggles to enjoy. Here the goggles is essentially the headset which is there, which has been given to you, that has got all these things built into it. I have weared a headset and I have experienced two things. A new car manufactured and everything of the car has been shown to me as if I'm sitting inside the car and I have been shown through this headset. Cycles of technology hive come and go. That means we have seen many technologies have come, many technologies have gone or become outdated with the help of another technology. Perhaps metaverse also will go away and it will fizzle out. But the problem is whether we'll be able to realize the benefits of metaverse. One doesn't know. Like steam engine was replaced by electrical engine. Perhaps someday metaverse will be also replaced by something else. One doesn't know. But it has got huge potential. And that is why it is continuing to be a buzzword and repeated buzzword. But very interestingly, one story. Uh, Apple, as per the report of Bloomberg, Apple has refused to call their business as metaverse, and they are saying that we will go for virtual reality as a business line, but we will not perhaps try to deceive people by calling metaverse as a technology. That is something Apple has said we are not going to do. Okay, so now a little technical. What are the 7 layers of the metaverse? The first layer is infrastructure, which is the 5G or 6G. But before this, can I show you Deepak, can I show a movie now, kind of a video recorded movie?
Yeah, but what you'll have to do is
Uh,
you will have to remove this sharing and then go to the YouTube sharing and include sound as I had shared with you. You stop sharing, you can put on the video, then stop sharing the PPT and then
okay,
share the video.
I'll put on the video. Just one
You
minute.
can put on the video and pause it.
But आपकी ये जो है ना, this is burden. Okay, I'll
नहीं नहीं,
put on the
आप
video.
उसमें जाए, स्लाइड शो में करिए सर, उसमें नहीं होगा, स्लाइड शो में करिए उसको.
How do I do it? Yeah,
Now you can share.
I have to,
Include
I will
computer
open
sound.
this, right?
इंक्लूड कंप्यूटर साउंड पहले कीजिए, राइट साइड में कॉर्नर पे. Just beneath that leave button, there is include computer sound.
Okay.
Now you go into the window and you will find that YouTube and you can play and share.
It has started. Can you see this now?
No, 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 we are not able to see. It is not shared yet.
Can you see this?
No, no.
Deepak,
No, no, we cannot see, sir.
Deepak, can you see this?
Wait a minute, I'll just come to you.
Deepak, can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you.
Can you hear me, Deepak?
Yes, yes, I can hear you.
Is it visible now?
No, it's not visible. Let me do one
Deepak,
thing. I'll
is
come.
it visible?
No, no, it is not. Let me come to you. Just give me a minute. I'll be there with you.
Deepak, is the video visible?
No, sir, it is not visible. You just be there. I'll come to you in a minute.
Deepak, can you see the video?
No, sir, we cannot see the video. Don't worry, I'm coming. I'm coming to you. I'll have it done. Just give me a moment.
I'm not used to this software.
No, no.
Because they're planning on building something called the Metaverse. I don't think enough people are talking about this. The Metaverse is going to change my life, it's going to change your life. So we need to understand what it is, why people are excited about it, but then also how it has the potential to end society as we know it. The concept of the Metaverse is this. Throughout history, we have constantly been moving towards more and more engaging mediums. We've gone from text to photo to video. We've gone from reading books and papers to now spending most of our spare time watching TikToks on the internet. And the metaverse is what comes next. An internet that you're not just looking at through a screen, but that you're actually inside of. Take anything you could think of doing right now. Shopping, chatting with friends, meditating to ASMR videos on YouTube. And now imagine that in the time it takes you to just snap your fingers, you could be doing that thing in a way that feels real, with other people who feel present in a setting that's whatever you want it to be. A living, shared, everlasting, virtual universe. That's Meta's vision of the metaverse, achieved through a combination of augmented reality and virtual reality, which they've said that they will subsidize the cost of in an effort to get as many people on this planet to be a part of the metaverse. And in case I wasn't clear, this is pretty damn cool. And there are some undeniable positives. Like, just to get the obvious out of the way, the metaverse will allow you to live out your fantasies. In one single evening, you could be slaying enemies in hand-to-hand combat. You could be playing a quiet game of chess on the streets of New York and surfboarding across the tropics of the Bahamas. All with incredible realism, but at the same time the reassurance that you yourself are safe at home. And on a similar note, there is also a comfort to the idea that you'll also be able to express yourself however you want to. You know how now you have a profile picture for your social media accounts? The kind of the image that represents you to other people. Well, in the metaverse, you won't just have an image, you will have an avatar. A fully three-dimensional living depiction of you, but you in the way that you would want to be. Did you ever wish you were 3 inches taller? Now you can be. Did you ever wish you had a bigger forehead? Now you can have one. You can be any gender you want, you can be any race you want, you could be any creature you want. Yes, Milo, I choose you. And to be very clear, longer term, your avatar is not going to look like these cartoon people. I think they just use them to make it seem a little bit less creepy.
Okay,
the truth is, though, Meta is also working on the tech to create completely lifelike avatars, fully rendered with every hair on their head and every pore on their skin. This is not a game. This will feel like real life. And what I
Share the, just wait for a few minutes. I'll show another video.
Oh, it stopped.
Yeah, I have stopped it. Can you hear
Okay.
me?
Yeah, we can hear you. We can hear you.
Okay, fine. Why I have stopped it, because a lot of time will be going. Instead, let me talk about it. You must have got some idea what I'm talking about, and Deepak, you will be sharing this with people, so you will definitely be able to see it at your leisure. So let us come to the layers of the metaverse. Now, what are the layers of a metaverse? Every technology has got layers, and if you have attended some of my sessions on digital transformation, there also you will find that digital transformation has got 7 layers. The first layer is your technology layer for telecommunication, which is 5G, Wi-Fi, cloud, etc., etc. Your second layer is your human interface, where you will be using mobile, smart glasses, and wearables, haptics, and gesture and voice, neural, etc., etc. That is the human interface. The third is the decentralization, where edge computing, AI agents, and Microsoft micro servers and services will be used. Maybe a metaverse can be used through blockchain also, and it can be used through edge computing also. That means the processing will be done at a one place, and the streaming will be done from another place, maybe from the cloud stored. And also perhaps these two can be integrated also. The third one is the creator economy. That means the design tools, asset markets, workflow, commerce. That means suppose you've gone into an e-commerce marketplace and you are choosing a shirt. And when you are choosing a shirt, they will take you to a trial room, and just like you saw one particular animation film where somebody is wearing that shirt which you have chosen, and you will be able to see exactly, by the computer will see your face and your body, and then it will map your body, and that shirt will be fitted into your body, and you will be able to virtually feel that whether the shirt is suiting you, your physique and body. Maybe there you may have to give an input that you generally wear 40 Indian size shirt or 42 Indian size. And so that's the kind of layer, which is the fifth layer. The sixth layer is the discovery layer, where you have networks, curation, ratings, stores, agents, etc., where actually the network delivery will take place through various medias and various agencies methods. And finally, the experience layer, which is the ultimate layer, where you will play the game, where you will play the social, where you play some esports, and you go to some theater or do some shopping, etc., etc. So these are the 7 layers of metaverse. Essentially, have you found that anything which are meant here in terms of any technology which has been named here, are not those essentially already there? Answer is yes. 5G, 6G, which are already India has started working on 6G. Mobile smart glass wearables are already there. Edge computing is definitely there. AR, VR, 3D already there. Design tool, asset management, markets, e-commerce, everything is there. Network, social curation is already there, and games, etc., is already there. So what do you think metaverse is? Metaverse is definitely not a technology of its own kind. Metaverse is a kind of creation where technology has very nicely been manipulated, infused, used, and articulated in a fashion where a particular situation of real life can be created into an external world life and delivered through cyberspace. That is essentially what metaverse is. Now, what do you see in this picture? Any response from any participant here? What do you see in this picture? I insist some participant to interact with me and let me know what do you see in this picture.
Sir, two avatars fighting with each other.
Acha, see it much more better, much more keenly. You still say that there are two people fighting with each other. It's a game of fencing, that is sword playing. Are you still convinced that there are two people?
There is someone else also in the at the top, I feel.
No, I'm talking about people having sword in their hand. How many people are there?
Okay, one person with the sword.
Huh?
And second person is...
Let me rephrase my question. How many players are playing, whether sword or not sword?
Clearly visible too, but there might be some hidden objects as well.
Okay, chalo, ठीक है. So 2 persons are playing the game of fencing. See it more carefully, and you have seen it more carefully. And there are both the 2 players with physical presence. So your feeling is that there are 2 players who are having a physical presence here, right? The answer is no. There is only one player. The other player whom you are seeing in a bluish kind of dress, it is nothing but a hologram. And it's a dynamic hologram. Few days before, you have heard about in India Gate, in that Delhi, there is a hologram of Netaji Subhash Bose. That is a static hologram. And when you create a dynamic hologram, essentially you can create this kind of a position where you can play the game. Now I will show you the actual play with a video right now. Just give me 1 minute. It's a very short video, very short video.
Unguard. Fence. Don't be scared to attack! You seem like a natural.
Whoa, that's a little too realistic. See you later, Lee. That was fun.
Good job, Mark.
I'll show you once more.
Unguard. Fence. Don't be scared to attack! You seem like a natural.
Whoa, that's a little too realistic. See you later, Lee. That was fun.
Good job, Mark.
So just going back to my presentation. Thank you. Thank you. Deepak was helping me to show this because I'm not very used to Microsoft because so long I've used Zoom. Okay, fine. So, so what you saw essentially what has been created. Can you see my video? Participants, can you see my video? Yes. Okay. So, so essentially, this particular picture is that of a hologram, and this hologram is a dynamic hologram. Now, you may be curious and to know what is a hologram. A hologram is a three-dimensional image which is created by the interference of light beams that reflect real objects. And one important word here is parallax. Parallax means that when that particular hologram is dynamically displayed, if you see it from different angles, you will be able to see what actually it is from that particular angle. Like the player when he is playing, the real player who is in white shirt, essentially this is Mark Zuckerberg. This particular short video was included in Mark Zuckerberg's launching talk for Meta. I have seen in his Meta talk, this particular film is there. So this hologram was made to play and it was delivered into a 3D delivery and metaverse delivery. So essentially this particular video is going to help Mark Zuckerberg to create a training session for all future players of fencing. So he will deliver another product like Facebook, which will be a sports training center using Metaverse. That is his business proposition with the help of Metaverse. So you can be a stereotypical Metaverse, which will be realistic and which can be dynamic also. Now, do you think Deepak was telling in his introduction that can Metaverse your new wedding destination? If there is any young girl and boy sitting here, answer is yes. You can have your new wedding destination is in the Metaverse. In fact, in India, such a destination has been used once by a gentleman called Janaganadhin in Tamil Nadu, and the bride was Dinesh Padmavati. What they did, they created a virtual environment for their wedding receptions, and they created a non-fungible token also. Token, of course, is a different subject altogether. But what they created, that sitting in their drawing room, all the invitees to this metaverse could enjoy talking to the new avatars of the newly wedded bride and bridegroom, and also the guests who were present there, because the video was continuously being streamed and people were seeing through headsets. Of course, the food was real, because all the invitees to that metaverse, their food was delivered at the home itself. Okay, now do you think that wedding in metaverse is an acceptable phenomena? Perhaps legally not, because still our society has not accepted that a man can marry a lady with geographically becoming separate and sit down for marrying in the metaversical world. That has not been accepted by law as yet. That's why metaverse wedding has not been accepted by law as yet. And this particular case of Tamil Nadu marriage with Padmavati and Janaganadhin was actually not only a metaversical marriage, but before that they had a physical marriage in real life, and what they did is the reception was done through metaverse world, that is virtual world. So what are the contemplated benefits of metaverse? Metaverse will be having a lot of benefits. Before I come to the draggers or the anxieties about benefit, let me tell you, metaverse as a subject has got tremendous amount of pull and push because of COVID-19 pandemic, and that made people to work being away from their working place. This COVID-19 pandemic has moved the digital scientist and the businessman with the understanding that there is a huge opportunity stays with the metaverse, like what we saw. Metaverse can be a training ground for sports persons. This metaverse was made too popular, and people started thinking for varieties of application. So the first variety of application with the limitations of virtual space, whatever it is that first working that it will help you to work in a place which is not designated workplace for you. The second point, any healthcare medical services, suppose a consultant doctor is sitting in America and an operation is going on in India, and the operation is actually being done by a robotic surgeon, and there is a physical actual surgeon who is supervising the robot and controlling the robot. Now, how does this consulting physician come into play and help the doctor and the robot? You can create through video streaming of the actual surgery being photographed by the robot itself, and stream it through the headset of the doctor sitting in America, because he is also video streaming his movements there. And three people, that is the doctor from America, the doctor for India who is a robotic surgeon, and the robot which is actually performing the surgeon, they are in a virtual world from three different corners of the world into a virtual space called Metaverse. Now, I was telling you about selection of a sari or a shirt or a trouser through Metaverse, or suppose a customer is to be shown about a product, how to fit it. It is a knockdown condition technical item, and a customer has brought it, and customer has called you, ki sir, now help me to install this item in my home. So the technician sitting in his office elsewhere in the world will display this, and gentleman who has bought the equipment, he will be able to install it at his home. So essentially what you are doing a customer relationship management, customer service management by Metaverse. Metaverse will help you to go for asynchronous learning or 3D learning. I'll take another 10 minutes to finish my talk, and then 20 minutes can be kept for questioning and answering. So, asynchronous mode of teaching. Perhaps if Metaverse would have come, our virtual learning environment which Zoom provides us would have been a Metaverse learning environment. So what is one of the major objectives of Metaverse is to improve interpersonal relationship and interpersonal communication. And anything which you do physically, you can do virtually, like 3D gaming, etc., etc., etc. So what the digital scientists have finally concluded that Metaverse need a lot of more research, and not only research at theoretical level, but also research at technology level, at the physical laboratory versus data laboratory versus virtual laboratory. So digital technologies and scientists are very, very ambitious and very, very hopeful about Metaverse giving a lot of benefits. And this is the kind of brand image you can see in Metaverse world. You see how many brands have already attached themselves with Metaverse. See Google Play, Facebook, then Netflix, YouTube, Zoom. They are all in Metaverse now. IBM, Sony. You won't see Apple is there, but Apple is there in a different form. That is Xbox. Apple doesn't want to go for Microsoft, Adobe, Horizon. These are the various things in Metaverse. Now, this is a very this particular slide gives you the points of anxieties. In 2021, immediately after Mark Zuckerberg announcing that Facebook is now Meta, the social researchers there conducted a review or a survey amongst 1,002 consumers, and their age groups were between 18 years, age above 18 years. Okay, what are the concerns they have expressed? And here you find all the concerns added together is not equal to 0, is not equal to 100, because one person surveyed could have given more than one concern. That's why it is not equal to 100. So what are those concerns? This is from a source called Statista, and that's why this source is very, very successful and very, very reliable source. The first concern is the privacy. If Facebook succeed in creating the metaverse, the privacy of 87% people viewpoint is getting to be affected. Hackers will be able to hack your system much faster, because essentially the headset you are wearing, that headset is being streamed through by the computer you are using, and that computer will be connecting with many other participating computer in the system, and there will be huge chances of hacking. You may not trust the identity, and your identity trust is also not legally protected. Do not trust that the identity of the user of Metaverse will be protected. That means privacy becomes an issue in a Metaverse. 45% people feel that data can be collected and used against them. That means their personal data can be used against them, and cyber criminals will be benefited by their personal data. 43% is concerned about not being sure about the identity of others. That means in a virtual environment, when you are meeting with others, you don't know, or like in a blockchain, without a KYP, you cannot enter in. KYP means know your participant, and you will be entering with a public private key, but transaction will be done with a private key. So your personal identity is completely blocked. In a metaverse, that will not be possible. And the last one is the transaction may not be very secure. That is the last concern. So so what we have seen here can be converted into a taxonomy. The identity related concern, data related concern, privacy related concern, network related concern, economy related concern, physical and social effect. That's going to be very difficult. The world of underworld of pornography can proliferate with metaverse. That is something which will be very dangerous. And governance related issues will be coming. I'm avoiding speaking about all these points together. So you are getting a feeling that metaverse, both sides of the coin of metaverse, that is the benefit sides and the areas of concern sides which are yet to be plugged, are definitely not allowing metaverse to proliferate the way it should proliferate because of the powerful capabilities of this creation of metaverse is there, albeit not a technology by itself. Thank you so much. And if you have questions, I'll be happy to answer.
Sir, can I ask you just one question?
Yeah, please go ahead.
Sir, how will people commercialize this? I mean, what will be the commercial angle to this for companies? For example, if we are talking about companies like Britannia, Unilever, if they will have their own avatars, so will there be any kind of a commercialization that we see on the metaverse? Definitely, there will be a commercial angle. But how
Yeah,
will
it will
companies
be. It
respond to
will be.
this?
It will be. For example, ITC hotel. Let us put it this way. ITC hotel, what you do when you book a hotel today, you go to the hotel's website and the hotel takes you through a video of the rooms, the video of the banquet hall, the video of the restaurant and some of the food and facilities, etc. Now, if that particular hotel uses metaverse and you are in a position to use your headset, suppose today everybody is having a phone in his hand, tomorrow perhaps everybody will be having a compatible headset in his hand. Suppose that day comes, then the hotel will be benefited by their customers seeing virtually the hotel room and the entire hotel. That means you will be taking a trip with your headset, which will be beneficial for you to select the hotel. Or you are going to, suppose you are undecided whether you will go to Switzerland or Kashmir. Suppose it's a travel company, you'll be able to do it. Suppose a new car has come, Elon Musk has come, Tesla's new design has come, and you don't want to go to the showroom for buying the car. You take a virtual trip of the car, inside, outside, and see it is running and being driven by a driver, the engine can be opened in front of you and you can see it. All these things are happening in the car physically. But seeing in the office of the marketing department of that car manufacturing company, you are virtually seeing the car. And that is what is virtual AR VR. Now, that is what is AR VR in a situation. Now, when this is streamed, when you are sitting in your drawing board and the drawing room, and it is being streamed to your headset and via your computer, you are in a metaverse space.
Yeah, sir.
Sounds interesting, sir.
Okay.
Yes, please go ahead.
Yeah. See, I could relate to it very well because my son is a cancer surgeon and he does robotic surgery in Fortis, Bangalore. So once he was explaining this whole process to me, how he has access to the cancer surgeon sitting in Houston, US, and how they are guiding through the process and all that. So after hearing him and he showed me some videos, I could relate to what you said. I think the benefits are totally magnanimous and that can transform it can transform many sectors. But as you have rightly said, the privacy issue still remains and you never know what will be the future of warfare in the coming days if there is cyber warfare. How this can be used by people, because I don't think this is the last war we are fighting like Ukraine. After that, it will be either biological warfare or cyber warfare. So there, what sort of role metaverse will be playing? You are an expert, you know better. but benefits are definitely great, sir. And thank you very much. It was great. It was a great session, sir. Learned a lot.
Thank you, Dr.
Thank you.
Nandi, and
Thank you.
explaining and or rather corroborating my idea about a surgeon from US and surgeon from India and a robot.
Yes,
Thank you.
yes. That was
Thank you.
very interesting, sir. Thank you, sir. Thank you. No.
Any other question?
Hello, sir.
I have a question.
Yeah,
Sir, may I have one question, please?
please go ahead. Open your
Yeah.
video now. We'll
Actually,
be able
sir,
to interact better.
actually, a few days back, I have gone through one website that is Decentraland. Decentraland is a web-based application which is purely based on the metaverse. They have their own metaverse, and there a lot of actions are continuously going on. In fact, I have myself created one account there, and I was very much surprised to see their overall platform and all that. And there are a lot of actions are going on, such as the people are buying and selling the virtual lands, even in millions. Even a few square centimeters space, which is virtual space, is being sold and being bought by some people in millions of dollars. So, and I think that is the concept is.
May I get a clarification from you?
Yes.
So you are buying a land or buying a small piece of a land, a parcel of land, a small piece. You are being shown the land in a metaverse space, and you are doing the deal in the metaverse space through blockchain also. That is possible. But actually what is it doing? Your act of buying, selling is taking place in metaverse without you visiting the actual piece of land, because the land and the surroundings and its geographical position in GPS, everything has been shown to you. Essentially, you are avoiding to go to the land before buying the piece of land. That is the service of the metaverse. But you have not bought any cyberspace, mind you, Mohammed Junaiduddin. I hope I could clear my understanding that essentially none can buy anything in the cyberspace. What one can do is a deal in the cyberspace, but the object of the deal, which he has virtually traveled to, exists in reality.
He may be referring to NFT, sir.
Yes, sir. So
Yeah.
actually, the concept is that all these virtual lands are being actually bought and sold on the basis of blockchain technology and on the basis of NFT, non-fungible tokens.
NFTs. Agreed. Yes.
So yes, so I just want to understand something about means what do you think the future that as per my understanding most of the things could be converted into NFTs, such as the real land and real properties and all that. What is your viewpoint in that?
Let me tell you, I have done a lot of work in the area of blockchain. If NFT essentially has to be administered through blockchain technology, and NFTs, as you are knowing that it's a non-fungible token, a piece of land can be converted into an NFT and the deals can be done. There is absolutely no problem. But for the purpose of NFTs to be successful, one has to use the blockchain, and not only use the blockchain but also do the scalability achievement of the blockchain. If that is done, I'm sure NFTs will proliferate. And in some of my presentation, you must have seen on blockchain that I have called a blockchain not a digital technology, not a technology that can create business impact and economical impact. In fact, blockchain is a foundational technology. It has gone beyond the stage of digital transformation. If it can be used the way which you are visualizing, that NFTs will be the future of transaction management, then I'm sure blockchain will be the foundational technology for society and economy, which was presented in 2018 to Davos Economic Summit. And what you have said and what you are trying to project, I fully agree with you. But blockchain has to be proliferated, it has to be scaled up, then only it can become a foundational technology.
Thank you, sir. Thank you very much.
Could I explain to you, Muhammad Jinauddin?
Yeah, excellent,
Yes,
sir. Thank
yes,
you.
sir. Yes, sir. Absolutely, sir.
Thank you very
Great,
much.
sir. Thank you, sir.
Sir, I do have a question. Can I?
Yeah, please go ahead.
Sir, maybe my question may be say irrelevant because I missed some moments of your great webinar. So, sir, is it only limited to pictures or hologram, or it can be the sounds can also be say used in this criteria?
Sorry, come back again in the last sentence.
Means, can we only say in world of metaverse, can we only is it limited to the pictures and say images, or also the sounds are included in that? Means, can we manipulate the world of music or the sounds or frequencies like that?
Acha. The moment you want to, let me first answer this question a little differently than before coming to the world of metaverse. You know, I have written about certain machine learning and artificial language, where suppose Lata Mangeshkar has got 1000 very popular tunes amongst her 30,000 songs she has sung. So you pick up those 1000 tunes and make a machine learning program to listen to it. Of course, it's an unstructured data, so it has to be used with the big data analytics. Okay, so machine learning, what the capability of this machine learning under supervision is that first of all, the machine knows that these are 1000 most popular. So from there, the machine learning system will reduce it down to say 750 or 500 good melodies. After that, machine learning will be cutting into pieces these melodies and do a stitching of the melodies to create a new melody. And it has happened. I have written about it, which is called immersive technology with the help of machine learning to create a tune out of 1000 popular tunes. Okay, now let us come to metaverse. So what you can do, you are doing a wedding and you are not playing any traditional wedding song. So by using AI and ML, you have created some wedding songs for yourself and you have tokenized it. Okay, now what you have essentially done, you are not only whatever manipulation of pictures and images you have done, because these days in wedding photography is done by drone, and drone will be having an edge computing. So the drone will be sending pictures to a virtual console on the ground, and the photographers all around and the videographers all around the marriage, they will do all these things. Okay, now the console will do an infusion of all the sources of pictures and images and also what is being shown by drone and the music streamed into it. So this infusion will now be streamed with to the drawing rooms or computers of your invitees. Now invitee will see it and listen to it with the help of a headset, in which this, when you do the infusion, you will be using the technology augmented reality and virtual reality. So essentially what you have done, you have used a technology of blockchain, drone, AI, ML, videography, photography, digital streaming. How it is being called metaverse? Because the whole thing has been delivered in the cyberspace and it is being virtually seen with the help of a headset. You got my point? So now coming to the exact issue of your question, can you manipulate sound? You have manipulated the sound also. But that manipulation has not taken place online. That you have already done, because while online streaming is going on for metaverse, you cannot simultaneously manipulate that sound. Na? You can manipulate the picture. You can change the color, you can change the sharpness, which always is possible. Even in our simple computers, we do it. Before creating a PowerPoint presentation, if we find a picture is not very sharp, we take it to the PowerPoint tool and make it sharp. So all these things are possible, I think what you have said is possible to make it ready for metaverse.
So, sir, miss, my concern was with say, can it happen that a live music concert or an audition can be done using this technology?
You are talking about suppose Saregama. Okay. Now
Yeah.
Saregama, I have gone for my audition and I am doing through metaverse. The console of the metaverse will be used by whom? Not the guy who has come for me and the guy who is giving audition for selection. The console will be operated by the guys who are taking the audition. So how the guy who is appearing for the audition will manipulate? I don't think he can manipulate. Because he is coming to a studio where his voice is being videographed and audiographed and being streamed to the judges who are sitting somewhere else. And the selection is taking place in metaverse. Because the object which is not there, how can you put it into a metaverse? Because metaverse doesn't create any new object, right? It can manipulate an existing object, but it cannot create any new object. How it can create? It can also create. Suppose if there are fencing going on, and in that fencing, say 20 players will be playing versus one Olympic champion. So the skill of 20 players will be studied by the machine first, and the movements will be studied, and the weakness of the world champion will be studied. Now the computer will throw the images through this hologram mode, which will be a combination of many images put into a sequence to defeat the Olympic champion. And that is taking place in metaverse. Right?
Yes, sir, exactly.
Could I explain to you?
Yes, yes. Thank you, sir. Thank you very much.
Sir, I have a question.
Yeah.
So, for example, if I understand like this wedding also, and for anybody to actually experience, because metaverse is an experience, it's not a reality. To experience that metaverse, you need those VR headsets, right?
Right.
So I presume that when this wedding happened and people would have participated in the wedding, they would have used those headsets.
Yes.
So a few years back, if you remember, there was this Google Glass which had come. It was like a normal specs and which had a camera and AI and all of that was there. And now, so there are different avatars of that also, the headset, the way it looks and different, like a mobile phone, there are different configurations of those headsets also. So will it, in this particular wedding, say, for example, did the hosts give their special customized headset to the participants ki ye lo dekho and attend our wedding? Or they said you go and buy in the market and get your headsets and attend the wedding? So how does that part work? That how do you get those?
Good question. If I do that wedding, how can I organize? Let me put it. I do not know what is the story because the story I read in full about, they did not mention about it. So first of all, three, four things can be done. I will say that along with the invitation that if you have a headset of this make and compatibility or capacity, you can watch my program. I will say once. If you do not have, you can rent from a nearest shop. So in my cities where my invitees are located, I can say that this is the shop where you go or you place an internet request. The headset will be rented to you because rented headsets are rented now. This is the second possibility. Third possibility, some of his very high level guests, he may have bought and sent to them as their return wedding gift. Or the fourth possibility could be that he has asked the technology team or an agency who has organized the marriage. They have organized to send the headset delivery to their place and taking it back, and the rent has been paid by the guy, because your headset has to be compatible.
Exactly.
Yes. True.
So the key to the experiencing of the metaverse is the headset. So
Yes.
that is one area which will be the critical key.
Because in that headset you are not only seeing it, you are also listening to the music. That helps you to listen also.
The entire sound and visual effects.
Yeah.
Sound.
Believe me, when in Auto Incubation Center, that time it was not metaverse, it was a AR VR headset only. When I was seeing I was being shown that if you stand on the balcony of the house, dwelling house, what you will see in your surrounding. This is the western side, this is the eastern side. Although I was not there, I am feeling that as the video is taking me to the western side of the balcony, as if I am walking. That is the kind of virtual environment gets created, and when it is delivered through internet, it becomes metaverse. To me, it was not delivered to the internet because the laptop which was showing me this was on my table, and from my laptop to headset it was 2 feet difference. And now you will be wearing the headset maybe 2000 kilometer away, and the laptop which is streaming it is sitting 2000 kilometer away. So delivery is taking place in the metaverse, which is cyberspace.
Great, sir. So does anybody else have any other questions? So because this is a very nascent subject, and we don't know how it will evolve, what all possibilities exist. So please do not hesitate to ask any question. You might feel that it's a stupid question to ask, but this whole thing is damn stupid. So let's not be.
Deepak sir, I would tell you,
You can make an observation also. You can add to the knowledge also, because I have just facilitated to learn the subject.
Right. Because even if we see Antilia, I will still be staying in my 2-bedroom flat. I will not be staying in Antilia. I can only see Antilia, but I will be staying in my own house only of 2 BHK. So it is an experience. It is not a reality. And how much of time, energy, and money people would want to spend in creating that artificial experience, and people want to be a part of that experience, we don't know, because human psychology is whatever. Nobody would have imagined that people would spend so much time on social media, where absolutely at the end of the day, people just keep on scrolling and time is lost, bandwidth is lost, your data is lost, but you gain nothing. So, but yeah, that
yes,
is
Professor Gupta, your question, please.
Sir, there is no question. I must thank you. I mean, I have always known you for a long time, and I must thank Deepak sir for taking this initiative of regular sessions so that we can learn from each other. This is really an interesting thing, and when we talk about it, we just talk in a it's a passing thought for us in the classrooms. Now, when we are asked something, so we can go and talk in detail, and definitely credit goes to sir for giving such a beautiful insight on this. New technology that we should be aware about.
Just Deepak, just one correction. Metaverse is not
not a technology. You already said that it's a universe. It's not a technology in itself. Yes, sir.
It's a created universe with the help of several technologies.
It's a convergence of technologies, actually.
Yes.
And dictionarily, it is a universe delivered through cyberspace or internet.
No, so it was a wonderful session, sir. I really enjoyed every single segment of this.
Thank you so much.
Yes, sir. Thank you very much. It was great.
Thank you everyone for joining, and thank you, sir, Dr. Basu. It has been really enriching whenever we have had any sessions from you. And what is most creditable is that Dr. Basu is a chartered accountant, and from holding his fort as a finance person, how he has moved into digital transformation is something that we all should learn from him, the way he is transformed. So thank you, sir, and we hope to see you soon again.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thanks to all the participants of the program.
Thank you, sir. Truly an inspiration, sir. Thank you.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Thanks, sir.
Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Bye.
Thank you, sir.
Request all of you to please mark your attendance and share your feedback in Oracle.
Okay, sir.
Sure. Thank you.